For thousands of years, humans gazed up at the skies with a singular dream: to fly like the birds, to defy the tyranny of gravity. From ancient myths of Icarus to the sketches of Leonardo da Vinci's flying machines, flight was a longing wrapped in fantasy, tragedy, and hope. The skies remained a place of gods and birds, until finally we found a way to join them. But long before Da Vinci, there were others who dared to try. In ancient China, as early as the 4th century BC, philosophers and inventors experimented with manned kites and rudimentary gliders. The legendary Chinese general Han Xin is said to have tested man-lifting kites as a form of surveillance and signaling. These daring experiments pushed the boundaries of imagination. In the 9th century, Abbas ibn Firnas, an inventor and polymath in Islamic Spain, constructed a glider with silk and eagle feathers. Leaping from a hill in Cordoba, he managed to stay aloft for a brief moment before crashing. He survived and later reflected that he had forgotten to design a tail to aid his descent. His courage, however, would echo through the ages. In the 18th century, Swiss mathematician Daniel Bernoulli discovered that as the speed of a fluid like air increases, its pressure decreases. This seemingly simple principle is the very foundation of how an airplane wing generates lift. The curved upper surface of the wing forces air to travel a longer distance than the air flowing beneath, causing the air above to move faster and exert less pressure. This pressure difference, higher pressure below and lower pressure above, creates an upward force, lift. This understanding, though not immediately applied to powered flight, was a vital intellectual stepping stone. Later, in 1856, Jean-Marie Le Bris, a French sea captain inspired by the flight of albatrosses, built a glider that he launched from a cart pulled by a horse on a beach in Brittany. He is believed to be the first to achieve powered glider flight using air currents. Equally inspiring were the Montgolfier brothers of France, who in 1783 launched the first manned hot air balloon. Their paper and silk globe carried 2 men over Paris for 25 minutes. It was the first time humans floated in the sky. Let's not forget the ingenuity bubbling elsewhere. The boomerang, that iconic symbol of the Australian Aboriginal people, is a testament to an intuitive understanding of aerodynamics. Its curved shape and angled surfaces allow it to generate lift and return to the thrower, a practical application of flight principles developed independently and centuries before European advancements. It's not just a tool, but an aerodynamic marvel. The curved shape of the boomerang, taking advantage of Bernoulli's principle, allowed it to return when thrown correctly. It was perhaps the oldest known human-designed object to harness lift and gyroscopic stability, a quiet but profound whisper from the past. These scattered attempts laid the groundwork for serious scientific inquiry. In the early 19th century, figures like Sir George Cayley in England began decoding the mysteries of flight. Cayley recognized that it wasn't just wings that made flight possible, it was the interplay of lift, drag, propulsion, and control. He built gliders capable of carrying humans and defined the principles that modern aviation would one day follow. And in Russia, visionaries like Alexander Mojaysky were also striving for powered flight. His steam-powered monoplane made a brief uncontrolled hop in the early 1880s, a tantalizing glimpse of what was to come, even if it didn't achieve sustained flight. The German pioneer Otto Lilienthal, who conducted over 2,000 flights with his gliders, further refined these ideas. His data-driven approach inspired generations of inventors, though he paid the ultimate price when he crashed in 1896. His dying words, "Sacrifices must be made." The stage was set, the theoretical groundwork had been laid, and countless brave souls had risked life and limb in pursuit of the dream. And then, in the early years of the 20th century, 2 bicycle mechanics from Dayton, Ohio, stepped into the annals of history: Orville and Wilbur Wright. Unlike many before them who focused solely on power, the Wright brothers meticulously studied the problem of control. Wilbur and Orville Wright, self-taught and fiercely determined, recognized that Lilienthal's experiments lacked true three-axis control. They understood that a flying machine needed to be not only propelled forward, but also steered and stabilized in 3 dimensions: pitch, up and down, roll, tilting side to side, and yaw, turning left and right. They built and experimented with gliders, developing a system of wing warping to achieve roll control, a revolutionary idea. And on December 17, 1903, on the sandy dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, their persistence paid off. Orville Wright piloted the Wright Flyer, made of spruce wood, muslin fabric, and powered by a 12-horsepower engine. It lifted off for 12 glorious seconds. It was the dawn of powered, controlled, sustained flight. The first sustained, controlled, powered, heavier-than-air human flight. It lasted just 12 seconds and covered a mere 120 feet, but it was a Eureka moment of epic proportions, a turning point in human history. The news spread like wildfire. At first, the world didn't believe it, but the Wright brothers continued their experiments, refining their designs and demonstrating the practicality of their flying machine. The age of aviation had officially begun. By 1908, their demonstrations were undeniable. Europe, too, was teeming with inventors. Santos Dumont in Brazil and France, Glenn Curtiss in the US, and Louis Blériot, who in 1909 crossed the English Channel. Aircraft at this stage were fragile, skeletal constructs, wooden frames stretched with doped fabric, driven by low-powered piston engines, but they inspired awe. Russia, too, was not far behind. Visionaries like Igor Sikorsky, who would later pioneer helicopters, began with multi-engine airplanes in the early 1910s. The Ruski Vityaz and Ilya Muromets, built by Sikorsky, were among the world's first large 4-engine aircraft. Russia's contributions would echo through the Cold War and into modern aviation. Then came World War I. Biplanes and triplanes soared into battle. The war acted as a brutal but powerful catalyst for aircraft development. Suddenly, the ability to fly offered a strategic military advantage. Aircraft evolved from reconnaissance platforms to fighters and bombers. Engines became more powerful, airframes more robust, and the demand for innovation skyrocketed. Aces like the Red Baron wove myth and metal into history. Planes evolved rapidly. Machine guns, synchronizers, stronger engines. The interwar period brought glamour and achievement. Charles Lindbergh's solo transatlantic flight in 1927 captured the public imagination. Amelia Earhart broke records and barriers. Airframes shifted to metal, enclosed cockpits became standard, and radial engines gave way to streamlined, cowling designs. Imagine the bravery of those early aviators, exposed to the elements in their open cockpits, navigating by sight and instinct. Visionaries like Juan Trippe, the founder of Pan American Airways, dreamed of connecting the world by air. Aircraft became larger, more comfortable, and capable of flying longer distances. The iconic Douglas DC-3, introduced in the 1930s, is a testament to this era, a rugged and reliable workhorse that revolutionized air travel. World War II brought another surge in technological advancement. The development of all-metal monocoque airframes, pioneered by companies like Boeing with their B-17 Flying Fortress, marked a significant leap in structural integrity and performance. Engine technology also progressed rapidly, with more powerful piston engines and the dawn of the jet age. The world entered a new aerial arms race. Aircraft like the Spitfire, Mustang, and Messerschmitt Bf-109 ruled the skies. But the biggest leap was yet to come. In Britain, RAF officer Frank Whittle dreamed of a new kind of engine. In 1930, he patented the jet engine. Though initially overlooked, wartime urgency revived interest. By 1941, the first jet plane, Gloucester E-2839 took to the skies. Germany developed its own jet, the Me-262. Though it arrived too late to change the war's outcome, the jet age had begun. Imagine the sheer power unleashed by these revolutionary engines capable of propelling aircraft to unprecedented velocities. The post-war years saw the rapid adoption of jet power for both military and commercial aviation, shrinking the world and making global travel a reality for millions. After the war, civilian flight soared. The de Havilland Comet was the first commercial jetliner, though early structural flaws led to tragedy. Boeing's 707 soon followed, defining modern air travel. Wings swept back, engines tucked beneath, airliners became sleek, pressurized, global. The Soviets countered with their own icons, Tupolev Tu-104 and later the massive Antonov An-225. The Cold War made the sky a chessboard. Then came the marvel of supersonic travel, the Concorde. Anglo-French engineering at its peak, the Concorde flew from London to New York in just over 3 hours. Delta wings, a needle nose, and Rolls-Royce/Snecma Olympus 593 turbojets. Every part bespoke elegance and power, but high costs and environmental concerns grounded the dream in 2003. Yet the dream never truly died. Aircraft shrank the world. They redefined war, commerce, migration, and diplomacy. From boomerangs to bombers, from paper kites to space planes, human flight remains a journey of ingenuity and courage.